Well, pretty much we just have to play from ball one and ensure that we are disciplined and do the right things and just to stay focused. And as long as we stay focused, we are quite confident that we will get the job done today. We must ensure that this team don't come out early and score against us and put us on the back foot. So we must maintain that compact defensive line while we try to move around the ball like we can and ensure that we limit them to chances, and then in their offensive third, we try our best to convert a few of the chances that we know that we will create today.
Of course, Dunbeholden are no strangers to overcoming a deficit in the first leg, so I'm assuming that your squad is really confident coming into this one.
Yeah, we're pretty confident. It's a pretty confident bunch. I mean, the coaching staff has instilled those confidence in those who might not have felt that way. So the entire bunch is confident and knowing that we have the capacity to overcome this 1-0 deficit, and that's what we're here for. And today we'll see it on the pitch.
Let's now hear from Rudolph Speed, the man in charge at Cavalier.
Coach Speed, as a student of the game, I'm sure you saw your opponents today, Dunbeholden, playing a really fierce game on Monday. Was there anything that you took away from that game that you feel could help you today?
Well, yeah, a lot. I mean, we were there taking copious notes, so we see a few things. But all said and done, though, it is a different ball game every time because they might have taken notes from the last game that we played and find a way to counter-attack that too.
In the first leg, your team had a lot of really positive transitional moments, but sometimes you fail to have the killer pass in the end. Is that something that you are working on in training to really get right in this game?
Oh, definitely, and we have introduced somebody with a little bit more quality too in the lineup today, so let's see what happens.
People have been talking on and on about the players that you have lost, but onto the players that you have in your squad, especially names like Ronaldo Webster, who have been stepping up as of late to really fill the void that's left. What do you think of his performance and the players overall in your squad?
Oh, he's still underperforming. I thought he should have scored. He got a glorious chance to just hit it one time. But he's such a quality player. We're going to be looking at introducing Chanel Thomas today, another quality player. So we think between both of them, they should be able to cover up for Dwayne Atkinson that left us.
And defensively as well, your team has been performing really well. You brought in Adrian Reed last week, a very young player who can play many positions. What do you think his impact has been on the team?
Oh, very positive. Also, he's a very confident young player. He gives us dimensions that we didn't have before, and we're trying to exploit those.
Yep, the coaches are looking forward to this one, and so are we. When we return from this break, we take a look at the starting lineups, and the teams, of course, will walk out. Stay with us.
Money on top of money.
As we prepare for the second leg semis, the first on the agenda here at the National Stadium East Field. Dunbeholden against Cavalier. Cavalier with the advantage from the first leg, and the kickoff is going to be in less than 10 minutes time. Or if you're watching all over the world, thank you so much for joining our coverage here on the Home of Champions. My name is Donald Oliver. With me is Leger Williams. I'd like to know your thoughts on the battle between these two teams. The first leg didn't live up to expectation in my opinion, but because it is the second leg now, surely we anticipate a much better display.
Yeah, first legs tend to be a little bit tentative, and last week was a clear example of that. But I think both of these teams have a lot of quality. They know how to play football at a really high standard. So I'm not expecting anything less than a really exciting affair today.
Time now to take a look at the players to watch on from the Dunbeholden camp. Of course, we have to talk about Stephen Williams, who has really shone brightly in recent weeks.
Yeah, and that's experience coming to the fore as well. He has that, that proven. He's been to the playoffs before. He knows what it takes. He has been playing really well as of late. Really been driving this midfield forward and has been a constant threat straight throughout this playoff period, getting Dunbeholden into the playoffs, and now in the Lynk Cup he's coming to the fore as well.
Yep, so he's been wonderful so far, and you have to look at his striking ability, especially from set pieces. As we take a look at Shanil Thomas, the returning Shanil Thomas. Of course, he has been injured for quite a few weeks, but it's good for Cavalier to have him back up front.
Yeah, because he not only adds a direct goal threat, but also a lot of creativity coming in behind, likes to drop off this forward line and then get in behind, likes to then shift the ball on and arrive late into the box and score his goals that way. So he has been a threat from his high school days. It has continued in at senior level, and he's going to be a thorn in the side of Dunbeholden, I can guarantee, for this game.
And it is an interesting dynamic that he and one Colin Anderson will have up front. Of course, they sorely miss Dwayne Atkinson. Rudolph Speed actually said that in his interview, that it's a gap that is going to be difficult to fill, and he hopes that Thomas, as well as Ronaldo Webster, who he called out, who missed a big chance in the first leg, they have to step up to the plate.
Yeah, they do. It's going to be difficult for them, as I said. Dwayne Atkinson is not a player that you can readily replace. He was one of the better players in the league after all. But you have to approximate a lot of the things that he was good at. And when it comes down to creativity and arriving late in the box and ball striking, I think Shanil Thomas is one of the better players you can get to do that.
Yeah, of course, Shanil Thomas would have missed the first leg. As far as Dunbeholden, they're concerned, I'm not surprised with the one change that they've made to the starting lineup. The player who actually scored the own goal isn't in the starting lineup, Chevon James. He has been replaced by the youngster Okima Jones. Yeah,
that's no surprise actually. Okima Jones had a lot of attacking thrust and good ball playing from right back. Very good cross of the ball as well. And once they inserted Zakia Wilkes, who will get on to later on, he's playing in the defensive midfield position, so I assume they're doing that for more defensive solidity, to allow Okima Jones, who hasn't been the best defensively, to push on and do what he does best, and that's provide for his teammates.
In their own minds, they'd want to avoid extra time, don't they? Dunbeholden, they'd want to win this in the 90.
Yeah, they want to win that outright. Cavalier, they're the well-rested team. They haven't played for a week. Dunbeholden not only have to deal with this Cavalier team, but also a tough Mount Pleasant game.
And they have to deal with them on Monday again.
Exactly, so they have to prepare for that. So they would want to do this with at least very little energy as possible. And Cavalier, I'm sure, is not going to make that very easy for them, because they're a very high-intensity team themselves.
A lot of chatter in the tunnel before they make their way out. Of course, both sets of players know each other very well, and that also adds to the rivalry.
Yeah, both of these teams now at this point are perennial playoff teams, 2 seasons in a row now. Cavalier always pushing, champions in 2021. Dunbeholden backup, runners-up. We see there Thomas, who he was sent off in the last game.
Yeah, Harold Thomas, so he's going to be looking at it from the stands.
Yeah, I think that's for the best for him personally, you know. Not to get too agitated on the bench, because...
Well, he's not usually agitated, funnily enough.
Yeah,
so
but
it's a little bit surprising that he got the red card.
Well, maybe it's once they get a little bit older, it starts meaning a little bit more to them. Because as you mentioned, he isn't usually agitated, but last week he was really off one and got sent off. So I think he said, okay, I'll watch this one from the stands. This clearly means a lot to him. So I'm pretty sure we'll still hear him from the stands as well.
No, he doesn't speak that loudly, to be honest with you.
Especially over this music.
Especially over this music. I think at least a text or two. But it's said that having that aerial view would also help him dissect the game better. Usually if you're on the same level as the players, you don't see as much as you would like to see as a manager.
Yeah, I guess that's the benefit to being a commentator as well, that is.
Well, not if you're at the corner flag. As the officials are leading the party and the teams getting ready to make their way out to the middle. And yeah, we are anticipating a good one here. It's safe to say that the first leg was a little conservative with an own goal deciding the fixture. But now these two sets of players know that they have to go all out to be in the final of the prestigious Lynk Cup. The stars are here. Both teams pretty much at full strength because they want this trophy. They want this title. A few familiar names. But the narratives, of course, change every time they do meet. How will these players make a difference to this saga between Dunbeholden and Cavalier? Cavalier, of course, they've rested and they will continue to rest as the quarterfinals of the Red Stripe Premier League continues. Quarterfinals that Dunbeholden they are involved in. Would be a little bit disappointed that they conceded late against Mount Pleasant at Sabina Park on Monday night. But that's also level heading into their second leg this Monday at Sabina Park as well. Alexi Perry is the man in the middle. Stephanie Dale, Yi Sing, and Damian Williams will assist him. Carvel Banton is the fourth official. That's Kyle Ming, the captain of Cavalier on the left. Ricardo Thomas, the captain of Dunbeholden on the right. Dunbeholden, we hinted to the one change. Chevon James is out of the starting lineup, replaced by Okimo Jones, who will slot in at right back. His defenders, Ricardo Thomas, O'Dane Samuels, and Chevoy Watkin in front of Damian Hyatt between the sticks. Nicoy Christian on the left of midfield. Stephen Williams, the aforementioned midfielder, on the right-hand side. Zakia Wills remains in the middle of the park alongside Shaquille Powell, while Dean Andre Thomas and Stephen Barnett are up top.
It was an interesting tactical change of Zakia Wilkes playing at the heart of midfield. It will be interesting to see how he copes with a more aggressive Cavalier team, as they, I'm sure, will see him as a weakness in that midfield area.
As far as the Cavalier team is concerned, well, they do have Shanil Thomas up front, the returning Shanil Thomas. He will be playing alongside Colin Anderson. Jadine White remains between the sticks behind the back three of Giovanni Leng, Captain Ming, and Adrian Reed. In the middle of the park, we have Christopher Ainsworth on the left, Ronaldo Webster on the right-hand side. In the middle of the park, Dwayne Allen and Ronaldo Barrett, and Jerome McClare will be playing behind the strikers.
Cavalier, usual system. Their coach right before the game, Rudolph Speed, spoke about the impact of the attackers and how they can make up for the losses that they've had. Ronaldo Webster especially, he called out Shanil Thomas back in the lineup. Let's see how he will fare in his first game back.
Well, we're anticipating a good one here, a big one here. And it is going to be Dunbeholden who will kick off first here. And Dunbeholden will be kicking towards downtown Kingston in the Caribbean Sea. Cavalier obviously in the other direction towards the Blue Mountain Range and towards uptown Kingston. And Cavalier winning the ball pretty early, but giving the possession back to Dunbeholden, who would be wary not to give up easy chances. Shaquille Powell in the middle of the park looking for options.
And immediately we can see that it's not quite what they did on Monday. It seems as if their captain, Thomas, is the one going to be operating in that midfield area, more on the box-to-box role on the left. Zakia Wilkes here on the ball, who expected to play at the heart of midfield. It's actually Shaquille Powell reverting to his usual role. It's already a bit of mind games from Dunbeholden.
Well, let's see how much that will change. There's Thomas in an advanced position. Still on the left-hand side though, so that's not too peculiar. Samuels has to be careful, has Colin Anderson on him. Anderson committing the infringement there, and it's going to be a free kick to Dunbeholden.
Already we're seeing exactly what Cavalier like to do, get the ball to their pacey attacking players as quickly as possible. Colin Anderson though committing an infringement.
Craig Richards, of course, is the assistant coach at Dunbeholden. That's Akima Jones. The youngster has played in a few big games, but this may be his biggest game at this level. Young Jones. Shakeen Powell on it now. Jones now further up the field, feeding Stephen Williams, who looks to be struggling just a little bit in trying to get that one.
Yeah, it doesn't seem his usual self in terms of how he sprints. Looked a little bit labored. There's Stephen Williams.
With all speed, of course, is the technical director at Cavalier.
The architect of their, what you can call it, a reprisal in terms of their success. Already led them to a JPL title. He was also quick to remind us that Cavalier are three-time All-Ireland champions as well.
Yep, that they are indeed. Won it in 1964 and 1972. Back then it was known as the Ovaltine Trophy. And in 1977, the Umoja Cup. Those were the three All-Ireland knockout titles Cavalier won.
I think he can forgive us for not remembering those.
No, speak for yourself, I remember. Here's Dunbeholden. And they took a bit of time on the ball, didn't he? Then turned it over, Shakeen Powell, but Dunbeholden gets the favor from Cavalier. And Thomas trying to nut it back into the danger area, but it wasn't altogether dangerous. Way in front of Dean Andre Thomas. One thing about this Cavalier team, they know how to manage the game, play at their own tempo.
No one exemplifies that than their keeper, J.D. White.
Yes. He's been doing that for quite some time, actually. Saw his maturity from his days at St. Andrew Technical. Another player who was mature at the schoolboy football level, Shanil Thomas, when he was at Jamaica College. Always looked the part. Fabulous finisher at that level. Shanil Thomas committing the infringement there though. Nicoy Christian finding Ricardo Thomas. O'Dane Samuels out wide. Samuels thinking of the shot, decided against it. Thomas sends this inside the area, deflected behind for a corner kick to Dunbeholden. The usual head coach, Jermaine Thomas, is actually overseas, not with the Dunbeholden camp, where they have the corner kick sent inside the area. The Cavalier team had a lot of bodies inside the area. That's spun away there and almost caused some more problems for Cavalier, but there was a whistle on the play, and Cavalier, they have a free kick. Vina Bartlett on the bench for the last couple of games. The other custodian for Cavalier. Williams takes it down really well. Last touch of Williams though. McCleary. Here's Samuels. Thomas. DeAndre Thomas trying to set it back across, but unable to do so. Shanil Thomas finding Webster. Colin Anderson making the run. Webster stopped in his tracks. Literally as well. The play continues. Ainsworth gets a throw for his team. There is Harold Thomas in the stands. As we mentioned before, got the red card, so he has to not be on the sidelines. But has a decent vantage point, I suppose. So it's an interesting scenario for this Dunbeholden team. Jermaine Thomas away for what we assume are personal reasons. Well, Harold Thomas in the stands looking on at the action, but I'm sure he's going to be very influential from there. And they trail on aggregate, so, you know, things.
Not the most exciting start to the game so far, but it's taking up a common theme. Cavalier looking to get the ball up front really quickly. Dunbeholden trying to spray it around, looking to overload that left-hand side. I'm wondering if any of those substitutes will be itching to get on the field, make an impact, as they have been for the past couple of weeks for Dunbeholden.
Yeah, especially one Rowan Brown. Actually, a little bit surprised that he hasn't gotten a start. But if you're contributing well from off the bench, why not let that trend continue? Here's Ainsworth. Ball played inside looking for Thomas. Thomas trying to flick it over the head of Okemo Jones. There was an appeal for a handled ball there. Nothing doing. Here's Christian trying to thread that one through, but in the way was Adrian Reed.
I would love to see that handball shot again, you know, because it did look very incriminating at first glance.
Olen gave the ball away. Kept in play by Williams. Williams on his left foot. We know that he can do wonders with his left foot.
Yeah, he was looking for a reverse pass there, but wasn't on.
Adrian Reed picks it up for Cavalier. Strong pass along the right-hand side, and running out of real estate on that occasion. Ronaldo Webster. This is what happened earlier. Probably came off his chest there.
Yeah, hand was up, so it had fooled me a bit, but in reality it did come off his chest, maybe his underarm here area.
But he should be wary of defending like that though.
Yeah, hand was in a wild position there, Okemo Jones.
Rookie mistake, you can say.
And No harm, no foul though. Quite literally.
Were you trying to say no arm, no foul?
Cavalier looking to defend this Dunbeholden.
Cavalier coming out of their defensive third now. What can they do in transition? Chanel Thomas looking for a pass. They have been unable to find Colin Anderson consistently. But Thomas, he's a battler, knows how to win back possession. This is McCleary. Seems to be playing in the wide area as opposed to being in the attacking midfield area. So just switching places with Webster, who is through the middle. And there's Anderson with a touch. And here's, well, Webster unable to grab a hold of it. Now McCleary. McCleary with the delivery inside, headed away. Webster. Allen.
No one at the back post. That's usually the area that Colin Ainsworth occupies, but nothing doing on that occasion as he tucked in.
They'd want to respond in the tie as quickly as possible. Dunbeholden.
Yeah, I think although they will be very confident seeing that they came back from a 2-goal deficit in the last round against Tivoli, they won't want to have to do that again, especially against this Cavalier team who can defend so stoutly. You can already see that they're back in numbers.
Well, here is Samuels and the ball is overcooked.
Actually, Chavoy Watkins playing on that.
Oh, Watkins, yeah.
Playing on that left back position. Not something that he's necessarily used to. Chavoy Watkins usually occupies a spot at the heart of the defense. But doing a job for his team here today. A job that can allow Ricardo Thomas, seem there remonstrating, but to stay higher up the field.
Samuels with the header away. McCleary collects for Cavalier and was, well, he lost possession. Watkin to Thomas. Takes the throw himself. Dean Andre Thomas was trying to find a teammate, unable to do so. Watkin again. Thomas. Poor delivery inside once more. Samuels. With a dink. It's a wonderful ball. First touch wasn't the best, but it's hooked across. And it's picked up by Stephen Williams, and the whistle goes. Foot was a little bit too high.
Yeah, I think Christopher Ainsworth, however, I think he'll be a bit lucky, or I think he's a bit lucky. Just dipped his head into the ball at the last second. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how high that boot actually was.
It was close to Christopher Ainsworth's head.
Yeah, but it's because he dipped his head as opposed to Stephen Williams really reaching up there. But
still dangerous play though.
Yeah, and he did miss the shot, so nothing doing in the end.
Ainsworth. Well, there's a Portman United contingent in the house. Free kick to Cavalier. Can they make use of the opportunity here? Here's the ball inside, and too much on it.
Reggae Boys national head coach Jaime Hal Grimson in attendance.
Yeah, wants to see a little bit more action on the field, I suppose.
Yeah.
After all, these are some of the best teams in the country on display in the semis of the Lynk Cup. We'll probably want to see a little bit more ambition, if not accuracy, when they try to get into the attacking third.
Chanel Thomas dwelling on it a bit too long there.
And he knows that's not really his game. But since he's just returning, probably have to give him a little bit of a bly as Ricardo Thomas collects this one and sends it into oblivion.
As the only national representative on the field in the recent squad, I don't think Coach Hal Grimson will be too pleased with that one.
And Jadine White.
I'm surprised it took so long. Almost 18 minutes.
But a quick team meeting for Cavalier in the meantime, as is usually the case.
Last week his excuse was that he hadn't played in a while, so he had some cramp. It doesn't look like the game last week did him any good then.
There's the aforementioned meeting. Dunbeholden players also with an opportunity to talk things over. Captain and assistant coach. Crowd is building all the time. Referee Alexi Perry keeping a very close watch on proceedings.
One thing must be sure, the amount of time he goes down in a game, he must be the most well-hydrated person on that pitch. DeAndre Thomas making sure he's not too far behind the hydration races, but Dunbeholden into the races offensively so far in this game. Maybe this little break would do them well as well.
Dunbeholden actually with 60% of the possession so far.
No surprises there. Cavalier looking to do what they just did and get the ball into their attacking third really quickly.
Well, here's Ricardo Thomas.
But it must be said, Dunbeholden, as you saw there, haven't done too much with their possession. Well defended by Odean Samuels there.
What has been interesting is that the strikers haven't really moved out of their position to even try and collect the ball deep. They want to be on the receiving end, but at the moment they've been outwitted so far. Haven't received a lot of touches, DeAndre Thomas, as well as Stephen Barnett. Few touches on the ball, really.
It's always going to be difficult for them. They're up against 3 centre-backs and maybe... Oh.
Well, here's an opportunity here. He's thinking of a shot, decides to pass it, and it's put wide of the mark. The flag was up in any regard, so it doesn't count, but even before the pass was made, as we take a look at the clear offside, yep. Good call by Stephanie Daly-Singh.
Yeah, but very indecisive striker play there from both players. I didn't see a reason for DeAndre Thomas to be
pass.
offside.
Or
to be
yeah.
offside in so much space, and for Stephen Barnett to pass in the first place.
That was
could
the
have
first
been,
surprise.
Yeah, that could have been their best chance of the game, and
it was
wasted.
Barnett gets it again. Ricardo Thomas trying to play it through to DeAndre Thomas, and either the service to him hasn't been 100% or he's a little bit lackadaisical on the ball.
But he made a very good point about maybe the Dunbeholden strikers being marked out of the game. They are playing against 3 centre-backs, so that there's a natural numerical disadvantage for them there, in addition to maybe one of the wing-backs tucking in, maybe one of the central midfielders tucking in as well. So they're always outnumbered. So I think a good thing for them would be to try and drop in behind and draw out one of those centre-backs to follow them.
Yeah, that's a lovely ball over the top, you know. He's inside the area. He's kept his balance. Oh, the shot is just wide of the mark. Chanel Thomas was trying to guide that one goalwards and decided to use the outside of his right foot, but it was always curling away.
Yeah, and I think he probably was too honest in that one, because I think if he went to ground and not shot, he could have given the referee at least a decision to make.
Yeah, it would have been difficult though. There wasn't a lot in it. Yeah, he was truthfully off balance, but well, who knows?
Yeah. Well,
maybe the referee would have thought otherwise.
At the very least, the pressure that Akima Jones put on him told.
Yeah, Jones did enough. Game picking up now. It's about time, if you ask me. Watkin. Christian. Haven't seen him on the ball as much as the Dunbeholden contingent would like. And Samuels into dangerous territory. Well, that was a potential. Has scored a couple of blinders in this competition.
Yeah, those are goals that I don't think anyone will forget in the near future.
Maybe in the far future as well too, Leger. Christian trying to thread that one through, and now it goes the other way. Ainsworth on it, but he just has one in support at the moment. Chanel Thomas making up number. Couldn't get the ball to Thomas, but again Thomas wins it. Chanel Thomas. Webster trying to play that one through. Couldn't. Reed. And that's put into touch. Jones. Thomas now finding Watkin. Thomas. Manages to hold his balance. Here is Christian.
Yo, Minga! Yo, run out of the line! Instruct them to tackle!
Still not seeing the fluency as they transition Dunbeholden.
Yeah, I think their play is just a bit too slow.
But
it looks a bit static to me.
But I can almost understand why it's a little bit static based on what we're seeing on the field and who's playing where, you know?
Yeah, maybe not a lot of familiarity amongst the roles.
It's hard seeing Watkin progress ahead of a Ricardo Thomas, and Thomas looking for the central passes. Yeah, so they're not a well-oiled machine at the moment, and I'm not sure how long they'll continue on that trend. Ainsworth. No, that's a little bit too heavy for Ainsworth. Oh, he's misjudged that one, Adrian Reed. It's come to Thomas. Thomas trying to play it across the face of the goal. And wasn't accurate, the Dunbeholden captain.
Yeah, it wasn't an accurate pass, but it was good defending by their captain, Kyle Ming.
Well, here's Anderson now, getting Webster into it. Webster back to Colin Anderson, surely! Oh, he's missed the target! Well, it's absolutely incredible what's happening here at the National Stadium East Field. Some big chances have been missed.
Two absolute golden chances, actually, for both teams. First, Dunbeholden, but Colin Anderson.
Well, here's Christian inside, and there's no one there. No one near.
The league's top marksman, the top marksman of the Jamaica Premier League with 17 goals. Excellent pass by Webster. Oh, he just shanked it. No composure in that shot whatsoever by Colin Anderson. And he really spared the blushes of Dunbeholden. Just like how Cavalier's blushes were spared not too long before that.
Yeah, no, he's still learning his craft. But you have made a reputation for yourself this season. That was a bad miss. Watkin. Christian now on it. Nicoy Christian. Here's Stephen Williams. Williams. Again, not quite on the same page. Barnett and Dean Andre Thomas. And now there's space for Webster. McCleary giving chase. Webster goes back to McCleary. It was just a hopeful ball inside. Colin Anderson may make a nuisance of himself, but oh, the youngster does well. Wonderfully done by Okimo Jones. Jones still going. Still Jones. Wonderfully done by the youngster. And now it's with Christian and Powell. And Powell thinking of an effort on target. It wasn't on target.
Far from on target, actually, but good work initially by Okimo Jones. Rampaging his way down that right-hand side. Taking ball progression into his own hands there. But yeah, once again, there was a pass available for Shaquem Powell on the other side, which he just didn't use. But as you mentioned, Donald, this game has been picking up for the past maybe 9-10 minutes or so.
Williams now. Christian. That's a lovely ball through. Dean Andre Thomas, though, couldn't beat Ming, who is injured, but stays on his feet. And McCleary goes long, and is collected by Thomas, and assisted by Webster. And Webster goes aerial.
Yeah, lazy pass there, I think, by Webster.
Watkin again now. Christian. Christian goes long, and again, too long. Dunbeholden spurned on by their supporters here at the National Stadium East Field. They're encouraging their team to press. And the mistake there, so they get back possession. There's one of the architects of the cries we're hearing from the stands. Ricardo Thomas now. Driving forward, attacking the space, trying to thread that one through. He gets it back. Now Christian. Anderson. Webster giving chase. No issues there. Zakia Wilkes. Watkin. Watkin taking on McClarion, beating him, and plays it behind Dean Andre Thomas.
Good intent though by Chavoy Watkin.
Allen. Allen with the ball out wide. Colin Anderson is there, trying to send it early. Thomas will reach there ahead of Hyatt. And he got some help from Webster, but Webster has to run back to retrieve it. Here's an opportunity still for Cavalier. It's with Allen to Anderson. Anderson doesn't look sharp at all. Here is Barnett. And Stephen Williams. Almost got that one through.
It must be said Kyle Ming has been supreme at the back for Cavalier so far.
Christian. Williams on his left. Decided against the shot. Watkin, can he deliver one inside? It's backed in the court. Christian. Christian driving that one again over the top.
Yeah, this game has more than picked up. Looking much more fluent, much more end-to-end from both teams, but lacking a bit of quality in the final third. Here's an example. Nicoy Christian usually so reliable in those situations.
Come again, Mr. Jones, and you may defend from down there.
Samuels making his way through, but here's Cavalier. Anderson trying to get Chanel Thomas involved. Was he fouled? He was. Free kick to Cavalier. He landed hard, did Thomas, but I don't think he needs medical attention.
Who's over this one? It's Ainsworth, it's Reed, the two youngsters, probably the two youngest players on the field, but for sure I've seen Adrian Reed score some wonderful free kicks at schoolboy level, but Ainsworth definitely looks favorite to this one. We know how good of a left foot he has.
He's going to be kicking into a breeze here, so I don't think he's going goalwards. The three-man wall has been set up anyway. Ainsworth decides to go goalward. It's always going to be difficult to beat Hyde from that range and to contend with the wind as well. Thomas. Williams.
I think that basically sums up Dunbeholden in this first half so far. Just not smooth.
Are they showing a bit of wear and tear though, Dunbeholden?
Not necessarily. They don't look necessarily tired. They look like the team that hasn't been playing in a while because they just don't look sharp, especially in their final third actions. Well, there's some sharpness.
Yep, from Nicoy Christian. And then a pass that wasn't altogether accurate. And Thomas was robbed there, but he was robbed illegally. And referee Perry is going to be having some words with young Ainsworth. Literally snapping at the heels there. Christian's delivery inside the area. Anderson beats one, has Thomas for company, finding Shanil Thomas. Anderson making a run through the middle, but I think he went a little bit too early. In any rate, Thomas couldn't find him. It's a corner kick for Cavalier though. Cavalier, not surprisingly, taking their time about this corner kick. It is their first corner kick of the afternoon. Dwayne Allen behind it. Here it comes at the penalty area, and Webster couldn't do a lot with it. Now DeAndre Thomas, again, he looks as if he's struggling to go forward, and he was easily caught up there by Giovanni Leng. The team just looks a little bit labored, Dunbeholden. Here's Christian now. Yep, labored. You're right, it looks as if they are the team that hasn't played in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, just don't look sharp, Dunbeholden. But I think after like 60, 65 minutes, we're going to see a different type of... They're just not going to look very sharp at that point, especially when you couple that with them looking tired as well.
Williams. Oh, the kick goes the other way. Thomas somehow finding his teammate, but Webster was fouled. Webster sends it out wide to McCleary. McCleary sends this one inside the area, and Odean Samuels handles it easily. Now here's DeAndre Thomas. Thomas trying to go forward. He has seen faster days, the number 10.
Yeah. Would not be surprised if we see Rowan Brown or maybe McGregor as soon as possible.
Christian trying to play that one through to DeAndre Thomas. Jaden White picked it off. It was a good find from Nicoy Christian. Dan Ming was the one who came across and did well. Okima Jones was fouled. Barnett. Christian sends it out wide. Watkin will get there. Does well. Oh, trying to beat McCleary on the byline. And McCleary, was he fouled? It's a corner kick which has been awarded to Dunbeholden.
McCleary clearly thinks that he was fouled.
Corner kick to Dunbeholden. Can they take advantage here? Thomas at the back post looking for Williams. Nods it across. Nobody there in blue. There's an appeal. But referee Perry tells DeAndre Thomas to get up. Christian. Ball headed away by Ming.
Who else?
Allen lost it. Watkin. Samuels. Tried to showcase a little bit of skill there, but the ball had too much speed for him to recover before it crossed the line. He sees the funny side of it.
The distribution of Jaden White hasn't been the best so far in this game.
Oh, flicked on header, looking for Williams, who takes a shot that's wide of the mark. Didn't miss by much.
Yeah, that was a good strike, you know, on the half volley. Outside of the boot, curling away. Good flick on by Barnett. Yeah, that was a good strike. Had Jaden White stretching. He'll be glad that one evaded his post and evaded his net as well.
Thomas getting a foot in there, but he was fouled by Dwayne Allen. Both of them going at it. Allen escaping a caution on that occasion. Dunbeholden really bossing the possession as Christian sends it inside the area, too close to Jaden White. Williams still has it. Ball played inside to O'Dane Samuels and back outside, and in the end it's wide of the mark. It's put behind, I should say, for a corner kick. Well, it was a nice build-up on that occasion on the right-hand side between Stephen Williams and O'Dane Samuels. And the Dunbeholden, they have another corner kick. It's going to be Christian to send this one. Inside, White comes out and collects it easily. Bowls it out earlier this time. Christopher Ainsworth. Now Colin Anderson. Still has it. And Ricardo Thomas wins it. Anderson was looking for a call that wasn't going his way. Now it goes the other way, and Dunbeholden, can they capitalize on this occasion? It's Williams. Well, that's a poor ball inside the area. The Dunbeholden spectators aren't happy at all with the end product that they're seeing from their team. Leng. Webster has space. And tries to scoop that inside the box.
Doesn't do anything with the space, actually, Webster. Really should have moved into it. The game is stretched already.
Minimum 2 minutes to be.
Just haven't seen a lot of quality in the final third. That's the issue.
Not quite sure what happened there.
Was he holding his head there?
The better question is he aware that the Ballon d'Or is the highest prize in football and not the Oscar?
Even Alexa Perez seemed a little bit confused. He went and held his head. Jadine White. Must have been a gust of wind.
Thank God he's okay. Still 2 minutes of stoppage time to play, I'd assume.
I think I can now imagine what they were talking about in the tunnel before the start of the game. The temperature of this game would change if Dunbeholden scored. Leng with a long throw to the edge of the box. Ainsworth trying to find Chanel Thomas.
Plastic pizza for blood.
Powell. Webster wins it. Sends it over the top to Chanel Thomas. Surely can he finish? Yes, he can! Chanel Thomas back in the starting lineup. Although Anderson was the one who touched it across the line, it really doesn't matter who claims it. But Cavalier, they get a critical second goal in this tie. And whether it's Chanel Thomas or Colin Anderson, it really doesn't matter, but I reckon that was going goalwards. It was. Oh, Anderson stole it from Thomas, maybe, or maybe not.
Yeah, I think that one may have crossed the line. But it won't matter to Cavalier, however. They have the goal. They have now the 2-0 advantage on aggregate. And they are the ones who are looking increasingly comfortable to advance to the Lynk Cup final.
I actually think it mattered to Chanel Thomas, to be fair. It would surely matter to Chanel Thomas. I think he's just asking the referee if he got it.
I think we should not forget that it's 5,000 for every goal in the Lynk Cup. This has to get sorted out, but nonetheless, it's halftime.
It is halftime. And Cavalier with the advantage in the second leg and on aggregate. 2-0 the score on aggregate. 1-0 on the night. Dunbeholden, well, they're having discussions with the officials. But to be fair, they had so many chances in that first half that they have no one else to lay the blame on outside of themselves. And Cavalier very much in the driver's seat here at the halftime interval.
Lynk Cup Semi-Final second leg action. It's the first half of their double header here. It's Cavalier 1-0 up over Dunbeholden, now 2-0 up on aggregate. The game took a while to get really into its flow, but once it did, it didn't let up. Dean Andre Thomas, he was offside, but that should have been on target. Cavalier, they continued to press on. They tried to press on. Shanil Thomas losing his balance, and eventually just couldn't get the shot on target yet. Dunbeholden tried to get some chances together. They're the team that's trailing. Dean Andre Thomas and Nicoy Christian blazing that one over, not for the only time in that second half. Ricardo Thomas through. Kyle Ming, excellent. Had a really good first half, the Cavalier captain. And then Cavalier again. Colin Anderson moving well. Webster did excellently to find him. Oh, that shot was a shanked wide. No composure in that finish. You would find some later on in the half though. Dunbeholden attacking now. Stephen Williams outside of the left foot. Tested Jaden White. He was scrambling, but it went wide in the end. And then now, towards the end of the first half, basically the last kick, Colin Anderson made sure that one was crossing the line, made sure he was getting his $5,000, and made sure that Cavalier was not only 1-0 up in this game, but 2-0 up on aggregate over Dunbeholden. We have some statistics as well. Shots even, 16 between both teams, shared evenly. But as you can see, not a lot on target. Only 2 for Cavalier, one of them the goal. Only 1 on target for Dunbeholden. 13 fouls between both teams, no yellow cards, no reds as yet. Only 1 offside, 3 corners for Dunbeholden. They also had much more of the ball, 57% to Cavalier's 43%. But that was the game plan of Cavalier, to soak up pressure, hit on the break, and that's exactly what they did. They scored, they're 1-0 up, they're 2-0 up now on aggregate. And yeah, that's all she wrote for the first half. And we'll be returning for the second half shortly after this break.
about the start of the second half here. Cavalier lead Dunbeholden by a goal to nil. And the goal came courtesy of Chanel Thomas pretty late in that first half. And so with that scoreline, they lead 2-0 on aggregate, Cavalier. And they are about to get this second stanza on the way. And for much of that first half, it was a pedestrian pace. And you'd have to say that Dunbeholden, they haven't really been up to par in this tie.
Yeah, and I think the goal really showed that just really a lack of intensity for Cavalier to breach them the way that they did, going from a throw-in towards the end of the half. That's not the time you want to concede. And yeah, Dunbeholden just not at the races so far, and they have to really put up an excellent performance in the second half if they want to get back into this game firstly, and then if they want to get into the final.
Sort of critical point in the season for Dunbeholden. Of course, immediately following this match is the other semi-final between Portmore United and Harbourview in the Lynk Cup. It is presently locked at 2 apiece, of course, after the first leg, so you don't want to miss that one. 8 o'clock Jamaica time, 9 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean time. So let's look ahead to in this one, especially if Dunbeholden, they step up a gear or two, and they would have to get back into this contest. It's going to be Cavalier to kick off the action here. And everyone is ready. And we're on the way here. Cavalier, of course, they're kicking towards the Caribbean Sea and to downtown Kingston. Dunbeholden will be going in the direction of the Blue Mountain Range and uptown Kingston. They need help. Wilkes. They're moving the ball a little quicker. They just need to work on the accuracy now.
An early first half goal would do wonders for Dunbeholden's confidence and their hopes generally to really get back into this tie.
Well, Ainsworth will be able to get there in time. No, he doesn't. DeAndre Thomas looking for Barnett. Barnett making his way through and tries a quick snapshot there. Made its way through to J.D. White. McCleary up to Anderson. It's going to be a throw-in to Cavalier. It's a long throw that's taken, looking for Webster. But here's Williams. And Christian goes long. Was looking for DeAndre Thomas. Williams manages to get it back. What can he do here, Stephen Williams? On his left foot looking for more action, but there wasn't a lot of movement. Comes out as far as Ricardo Thomas. Thomas trying to send it back inside. I think he was looking for Williams, you know. But Cavalier defended that pretty easily. Here they come again. Jones sending it inside the area. And the clearance made up towards the halfway line. They'll try again. Dunbeholden. And Ricardo Thomas. Wilkes. Jones now. Christian back to Okima Jones. Jones sends it inside, headed away by Leng. And it did cross the line for a corner kick. Corner kick. Ball sent inside the box. It's headed over the top. No, well, Samuel's committing the foul there inside the area, so it's a free kick to Cavalier. Leng. They give a possession, Cavalier. Thomas to Watkin. Watkin again. Powell leaves it to Christian. Odian Samuels now on it. Trying to thread that one through, but Dwayne Allen saw it all the way. And now Cavalier looking to respond. Shaniel Thomas trying to send it inside quickly, but good defending by Dunbeholden. But Thomas does well to win it back. Finding Webster. Webster thinking of a shot. Drives it over the top. He had time to think about it. And with the time he had, he should have shot the target.
Yeah, maybe he had too much time there, Ronaldo Webster. Got some good connection, but wasn't accurate in the end.
Here's an opportunity. Shaniel Thomas looking for some space. Now Anderson. Watkin was being held. Subs warming up for Cavalier. Williams. Stephen Williams comes across to Ricardo Thomas. Corner kick. Christian with the corner kick. Here it comes. White comes out, gets a strong hand on it to punch it away. Now it's with Ainsworth. Anderson making a run through the middle. Ainsworth couldn't find him. Now it goes the other way. Flag goes up against Dean Andre Thomas.
He hasn't had the best of games so far, Dean Andre Thomas. I think Cavalier will take their own sweet time over these set pieces.
Colin Anderson now. Ball played through to Webster. Webster puts it into a dangerous area. And Hyatt got there ahead of Shaniel Thomas.
Yeah, good approach play though by Cavalier. Good interchange around the top of the box, but that ball just had a little bit too much weight to find any of the attackers arriving.
Dean Andre Thomas now. Doesn't have the strength to get by Ming.
I think Cavalier are sitting a bit too deep, too early in this game. Not seeing any forward press whatsoever from them.
Here's Williams. Powell sends it out wide. Jones, his ball inside, finds Jaden White. How long will it take for Dunbeholden to make changes? If Cavaliers, they score another goal, this tie is over. Here they come. Webster trying to win it back and fouls Odian Samuels. Yellow card is coming out. And it's going to be shown to Ronaldo Webster. A little bit too eager to win it back there. Samuels. Love the ball to Zakia Wilkes on his left. Can he finish? It's over the top.
Yeah, not his favored foot there. Venturing forward, Zakia Wilkes, but yeah, Dunbeholden, it's at this point it's really attack versus defense. We can see the number of players that Cavalier have back, really only leaving 2 forward. They're looking to attack quickly, but not accurate again there for Colin Anderson.
They're having the majority of the possession so far in the second half, Dunbeholden. But they're not doing a whole lot with it. Earl Thomas taking it easy, watching from the stands. Powell. Thomas. Anderson with speed. Sends it inside, nobody there in black.
Yeah, poor pass here by Chavoy Watkin. Must be said, Cavalier must feel very comfortable at this point. No serious threat posed on their goal so far. 12, call it 13 minutes into the second half so far.
Adrian Reed looking for Thomas, picked up by Colin Anderson, who scoops this over the top.
Optimistic effort there by Colin Anderson.
He's shown a lot of optimism in recent times. Pretty much tucked the ball while it had crossed the line in the first half and ran away claiming it. And of course, in the first leg, he turned around to celebrate after Chevron James was the one who headed it into his own net.
Well, when $5,000 is on the line each time you score, courtesy of Lynk, of course, I would claim it as well.
Thomas. Watkin. Christian is the one who has come across. Five players inside the box, make that 6 players inside the box for Dunbeholden. Here's the delivery inside the area, it's headed away, and again it's Ming in the way.
What a defensive header that is.
Here's McCleary, going through McCleary, all by himself. Can he finish? Can he finish off this tie? Oh my goodness, he's missed it by so much. After carrying the ball so far, McCleary. And Jaden White is down again.
Had help, McCleary. Dwayne Allen was crying out for it in the middle, but not the right pass. Dunbeholden will be preparing 2 substitutions when play resumes.
Carlton Blackwood and Rowan Brown getting ready to come on.
Looks as if we're going to see a new strike partnership. Stephen Barnett, who was not impacted the game whatsoever, and Dean Andre Thomas, who, well, I mean, he hasn't impacted it either, but has had more chances. Carrington Blackwood.
Ron Brown has 2 goals in the Lynk Cup so far. Can he make an impact yet again from off the bench? Oh, that's a lovely first touch. And a lovely ball out wide. It's with Ron Brown. Brown's ball inside the area. There's nobody at the back post. Williams gives chase and will get there. Thomas. Was there a handled ball there?
Double substitution for the Dunbeholden team in the 61st minute. So number 17, Stephen Barnett.
Ricardo Thomas is down.
10, Dean Andre Thomas, being replaced by number 20, Ron Brown, and number 50, Carlton Blackwood. Substitution 60.
Just confirm the change. Well, the change is Brown is on the part now. take a look at this moment here. Nope, straight off the chest. Clear as day.
Around 27 minutes plus stoppage time for Dunbeholden to get back into this game. 1-0 down on the night, 2-0 down on aggregate.
Samuels. Now Jones. Wilkes. Not sure where Watkin was placing that. And the Cavalier will go the other way, and Shaniel Thomas has Samuels for company. Webster. McCleary. Webster again. The toe poke to Christian. Christian to Blackwood. Now Thomas. Okima Jones. I did say at the very start of the game that Dunbeholden wouldn't be fans of this going into extra time at all, but I think they would take extra time right now.
Yeah, they'd much rather prefer that than crashing out. And that's what it looks like this game is trending to at the current moment. Dunbeholden not posing enough of a threat, I think, on this Cavalier backline that has been very sturdy, not only in this game, but in the first leg as well.
Here's Christian to Thomas. Samuels. First touch wasn't the best. Back to Christian. Back to Samuels. Lovely ball through the middle for Colin Anderson. Colin Anderson has blasted it wide again.
He was under considerable pressure there, but even so, once again, not having the required composure in his finish there, had the pace, had the strength. Yeah, he even took the shot before the pressure even came in.
Christian. You'll have another opportunity. Thomas. Powell. Samuels. Christian. Williams. Was he kicked? Yep, he was. Free kick to Dunbeholden. Maybe in his territory?
Could be. Or could it be a little bit of a dinker, a floater by Nicoy Christian?
free kick. An opportunity here for Dunbeholden. Lord knows they haven't taken any tonight.
Haven't created too many either.
Well, with the quality we have seen, maybe something special on the horizon here. Christian with the dink. It wasn't special. Christian again with the dink. Again, nothing too special. No, unless Dunbeholden, they come up with a blinder in the last 22 minutes. White couldn't quite get there. The clearance is made and it's gone out for a goal kick. Unless something dramatic happens in the last 20 minutes based on the evidence that we've seen, I don't think Dunbeholden deserve to go through to the final.
Yeah. Played much better in the first leg. Haven't been seeing it so far in the second.
Mario Smith is getting ready to come on, and he replaces Dwayne Allen. One holding midfielder for next.
In the 69th minute, number 5, Mario Smith, replaces number 18, Dwayne Allen.
Jones. Park does well to clear. And now Ainsworth has some space. Webster calling for it.
Dunbeholden still not showing enough. I think at this point Cavalier look the more likely team to score again as well.
Flicked on header. Trying to work the 1-2. Brown and Blackwood. Now it goes the other way. And Shanil Thomas. Can he capitalize on this opportunity here? Thomas finishes, and that's it. He gets his second goal of the game. The returning striker. And surely that is game, set and match for the night and for the tie. And the Cavalier, they are right on the cusp of a final berth in the Lynk Cup.
They have looked the more likely team to score, and finally one of those transitional opportunities have turned lethal, and Shanil Thomas back in action, back amongst the goals. Calm finish, really calm finish through the legs of Damian Height in the Dunbeholden net. He had a bit of Brazilian flair in the celebration. Then he calmed it down and paid ode to the king, Thierry Henry, as well. Shanil Thomas back amongst it, and Cavalier, oh have they missed him. It's Cavalier 2, Dunbeholden 0. Cavalier 3, Dunbeholden 0 on aggregate. And that's surely game, set and match for the semi-final.
Just a minute before you said that Cavalier, they were likely to get that third goal as opposed to Dunbeholden being on target. And it has come to pass.
They don't call me the guru for anything.
I can't even say that Dunbeholden, they have been outwitted. Whatever their game plan was, it didn't work, and it didn't help that they didn't have a lot of urgency to their game. That was magnificent play from McCleary, and now Webster is on his bike. And Webster sends it straight into the arms of Damian Hyatt.
Yeah, aim to try and get a little bit more curl on that with the outside of the boot, but not the right execution in the end.
Christian. Powell now. Samuels. Ricardo Thomas. White holds on. The second attempt. Samuels. Christian. Williams. Stephen Williams. Tried to put it back on his left foot.
About to see a triple change for Dunbeholden now. Even if they still have hope to get back into this game, I think this may be with Monday in mind as opposed to that. First, we're going to see Malachi Douglas come on for Shaquem Powell. Or Malachi for Nicoy Christian, I beg your pardon. Shaquem Powell will also be making his way off though. Yeah. Captain Ricardo Thomas also coming off. Javon Fletcher on for Shaquem Powell. That's the change. So Nicoy Christian, Shaquem Powell, and Ricardo Thomas all off. Yeah. That's definitely with Monday in mind. We're going to see also going to see some changes from Cavalier, with definitely they feel this tie is one. Ronaldo Robinson making his entrance, so too Omario Henry. Both of Cavalier starting strikers off, or two of their attacking players, I should say, in Colin Anderson and Ronaldo Webster.
So some substitutions. 3 for the Dunbeholden team saw number 7, Ricardo Thomas, number 21, Shaquem Powell, and number 11, Nicoy Christian, being replaced by number 9, Peter McGregor, number 5, Malachi Douglas, and number 19, Brian Burkett, being introduced in the 75th minute, while for Cavalier, out came number 15, Ronaldo Webster, and number 17, Colin Anderson. They were replaced by number 16, Ronaldo Robinson, and number 10, Omario Henry. Substitution took place in the 75th minute. Cavalier,
here they are again. Cavalier looking to add to the advantage.
Cavalier on aggregate 3, Dunbeholden men. Second leg semi-final. Up next,
Robinson knocks it into space.
Portmore United. There,
That's guided out into touch by Wilkes.
at 2 goals apiece.
Ball played inside the area, but McGregor couldn't quite take it down.
Cavalier at this point have basically no one up front, at least when defending. No one really passing the halfway line.
Samuels. Webster, or rather that was Shanil Thomas looking to play that one long. Samuels still on his feet. Blackwood, Douglas, Jones. Wilkes is back there. And so too Hyatt. Samuels.
Cavalier just looking to seize this. Yeah, that sums it up. But Cavalier just looking to see this one out. Dunbeholden looking a bit dejected on the bench at this point. Players and coaching staff. 10 minutes to score 3 goals at least if they want to send this one into extra time.
You don't think that's happening, right?
Nah, I don't, unfortunately. They haven't shown me anything to indicate that there would be enough of a threat to score 1 goal, much less 3, that they would need.
Samuels. Blackwood. Dunbeholden fans will keep supporting their team to the very end with words, even if it's not words of encouragement from the stands. Still have a bit to play for. They are still very much in the playoffs of the Jamaica Premier League. Presently locked at 1 apiece with Mount Pleasant heading into their quarterfinal second leg.
They better hope that they don't put in a performance like this one in that tie.
Here's an opportunity. That goes, but they do have another corner kick. Dunbeholden. Samuel's ball inside, headed away. Williams' effort. No issues there for Jadine White. Kept in play by, no, didn't keep it in play, Ronaldo Robinson. And 2 more changes are going to be made by Cavalier. Well, Elshot is back. Went down in the first leg. There was some fear that maybe something has happened to his ACL, but obviously that's not the case, as we got Dale Irving on to replace Ronaldo Barrett.
Yeah, it was a calf injury in the end for Elshot.
And the 2-goal man is taken out, Chanil Thomas.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just our man of the match for today.
Certainly is for me, although he faced really stiff competition from his captain, Kyle Ming.
I think so too.
Minute substitution.
Samuels kept that one in play. And it's put behind by Ming again.
Number 12, Ronaldo Barrett. And number 9, Chanil Thomas. Being replaced by number 22, Keani Jackson. And number 20, Kadir Irving. Substitution, 84 minutes. Cavalier 2, Dunbeholden, nil.
Both played inside the area. We do have some news for you actually. In regard to that second change made by Cavalier. This ball is delivered inside the area, looking for the spectacular over the top from Peter McGregor. So yeah, Brian Elshot is actually not a part of the contingent for Cavalier. Fooled us there. He is wearing his shirt, Keani Jackson. I thought that was a quick recovery.
I did receive word before the game from Rudolph Speed that he is back in training, Elshot, so
it wasn't as serious as...
Yeah, just a calf issue. He is back running and doing football activities on the grass, so he says maybe for the next game he'll be available, barring any setbacks.
Cavalier wanting to keep that clean sheet. Here's an opportunity for Dunbeholden, and this one is hit the crossbar and it goes behind. Well, or was it saved by Jaden White? Did he get a touch on it? Well, a corner kick has been awarded.
Peter McGregor tried his very best there to create some space for the shot.
There's a corner kick at the back post and it's saved by Jaden White, collecting that one off the post.
And in less than 30 seconds, Dunbeholden have hit the post twice. Just not their day, huh?
Yeah, Ron Brown with that second effort. And then this was the shot from McGregor. I think Jaden White had a touch on that one. Well, the flag stays down, and can he deliver? Oh yes, he can. Ronaldo Robinson off the bench has made the impact and sealed this one for Cavalier. Sealed it tight. The door is shut, and that's the exclamation on the confirmation that they are Lynk Cup finalists.
That goal may have seemed easy, but it was nothing but excellent pass by Ainsworth and a brilliant finish there by Ronaldo Robinson. Made it look extremely easy, actually. Yeah, that just sums up the game. Really easy for Cavalier on either end. Ronaldo Robinson, calm as you like there. 3-0 now for Cavalier, 4-0 on the tie. They've cruised into the Lynk Cup final.
So Cavalier adding goal number 3 in the 89th minute. Number 16, Ronaldo Robinson, the goal scorer. Cavalier 3, Dunbeholden 0. Aggregate score, Cavalier 4, Dunbeholden 0.
We're hearing that 5 minutes stoppages will be added at the end of the 90.
Seems as if the referee doesn't want to put Dunbeholden out of their misery.
Well, stoppage time is stoppage time. Don't think it should add or lessen it based on the state of the game.
Fourth official indicate minimum 5 minutes to be added to the second half. Cavalier continues to lead by 3 goals to nil.
They've had this tie by the scruff of the neck, Cavalier.
Yeah, the whole time.
Williams. Williams. Clearance made. But play has been called back. Free kick for Cavalier. Watkin may have gotten away with one there. Oh, they've given up possession easily here. And this one had to be saved by Hyatt. Robinson almost got a second. Samuels trying to drive through himself, and the foul was committed against him. Ball played inside, and there's a header that's wide of the mark. Watkin was thinking of a shot. Power taken out of the shot. And now the ball to Ronaldo Robinson. Free kick to Robinson and Cavalier. And what's going to happen here? What color card is this? It's a straight red card to Zakia Wilkes. Dunbeholden, they are disintegrating here into madness.
I mean, I don't want to be too harsh in terms of criticism to some players, but that was utterly stupid by Zakia Wilkes. He has a game coming just this Monday to get into the semi-finals of the Jamaica Premier League, and he went and did that for absolutely no reason. You've lost the game. What are you doing that for? What is that for? He must think he's playing the wrong sport, but that's full time.
Lost for words. They were torn apart, Dunbeholden, in the very end. Robinson even had time for a little fun as he came on after Chanel Thomas had scored a couple of goals himself. But I tell you what, Cavalier, they didn't have to get out of second gear in this tie. They dominated the proceedings, they managed it well, and in the end they came out with such a convincing win. And Dunbeholden, they are wounded now, and they are without a player for their next game, which is a quarterfinal in the Jamaica Premier League. They really would have to regroup, but it's going to take a lot of work in the aftermath of this defeat. 3-0, the final score on the night. As we take a look at the full-time highlights here, as Barnett decided to play in DeAndre Thomas, who had moved into an offside position, but what an opportunity for both those players. And then Chanel Thomas stayed up on his feet, and the shot wide of the mark. DeAndre Thomas trying to get an additional yard of space. Christian's effort well over the top. Not the first time he would go skywards. And here is Ricardo Thomas. Needed to get the ball across to Barnett, couldn't find the striker. Anderson. Webster. Anderson in space and then puts it over the top. They could not believe it. Neither could he. And then this one not into space was Stephen Williams. That one just wide of the mark as well. And Chanel Thomas would make it one. Lovely ball over the top And Thomas, remember that he's coming back from injury, putting that one across the line. And then Wilkes putting that one over the crossbar as well. This one driven inside the box, headed away. And McCleary was the one who picked it up and went a long way through. Went all the way. Didn't have the strength to finish. And then another opportunity here. Thomas finished with such ease in the 71st minute. His second goal of the game through the legs of Damian Hyatt. No issues there for the number 9. And then this opportunity, McGregor, there was a touch from Jaden White onto the bar. It was a rear shot on target for Dunbeholden. But look at this finish from the sub, Ronaldo Robinson. Ainsworth with the long ball, Robinson with the finish. It's not the first time we see him with that type of finish, Ronaldo Robinson. But he's done it at the senior level now. And then this bit of madness from Zakia Wilkes. Straight red card. And that was the last bit of action for this Lynk Cup semi-final. Cavalier, they've made it through to the final with ease. They had 14 shots, 5 on target. Dunbeholden had 18 shots, 4 which were on target. Dunbeholden committed one more foul than Cavalier, who had 11. They also had the red card as well. 8 corner kicks in their favor, Dunbeholden, but didn't quite register as far as creating prime opportunities for the team from St. Catherine. Cavalier with the majority of the possession at 56%.
You are right back in the starting lineup and you are right back amongst the goals. How do you feel about your performance?
I'm very elated to be back into the starting level and to score a double and coming back is a wonderful feeling.
You were right amongst it immediately. You were creating chances, taking some shots early. Do you think that there's a bit of rust for you in the first half?
I must say yes, you know, I haven't been playing, so to come back and to play exceptionally was like a surprise to me, but I did the job.
You definitely shook off the rust, especially for the second goal. But I must ask you, you're into the finals now. How do you feel that your team and you especially perform in that final?
This is my time of the season, so I just have to go out there and do my best and you will get the results.
A great game today. Best of luck in the final as well.
Thank you.
We'll now be moving on to Coach Craig Richards of Dunbeholden. Coach, it seemed as if nothing would go for you today. You didn't get the result, but I'm sure you're incredibly proud of your team regardless.
Well, I haven't reached here. I must say I'm proud of the guys to reach here, but today we didn't turn up. The players didn't listen to instruction. We were in the game, we created the chances that we wanted, but we just failed to convert. And at the end of the first half, we gave up a goal, a very soft one, and I've been trying to get back. I guess they score another one, and we were out of it. So we did not listen to the instruction. As a result, we paid the penalty for it.
What type of instruction do you think that they didn't really follow to the T today?
Well, the movement, I mean, there were times when we needed more persons in there in the offensive third and they were not there. But nonetheless, the chances were created and we could have still scored a goal or two in the first half, but we failed to do that. And as a result, you know, we came out the loser in the end.
In the pre-game interview, I mentioned that you had played 2 really intense games before this one. Do you think that that may have caused an effect on how your team played today?
Definitely, it would have been a possibility. I mean, I haven't played 2 games back-to-back and to come here and play again, plus training. Always going to be difficult, but we tried what we could have, you know, just to ensure that they recover properly. Unfortunately, it didn't show. So as a result of that, we had to make a few changes just to rest for Monday. Today, it's gone. So we can't focus on what happened today. We just have to look forward to a game on Monday night.
All right, well tried, Coach. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you very much.
We'll now be moving on to the winning coach, technical director of Cavalier. Coach, Rudolph Speed. Coach, I spoke to you right before the game and we're speaking about the transitional opportunities. Your team certainly took full advantage of them today.
Well, definitely. It was more than that. It was also scientific. We knew they were going to tire near the end of each half, and those were the halves that we struck.
As I mentioned before the game as well, you're a student of the game. You said that you had something planned for them. Do you think that your plans came to fruition today?
Well, definitely, and the introduction of Chanel Thomas after being silent with injury, that was the quality that we needed all along. And because of our youth structure, we have a lot of these talented players, young players waiting to play. It kind of paid off today.
And you're into the final now. I'm sure you're very confident going into that game.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to be taking copious notes later, and then we'll see.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Best of luck in the final.
You're welcome.
So one team through to the final of the Lynk Cup. Cavalier made it look easy. 4-0 on aggregate. There are 4 goals. Well, 4 goals have been scored so far in the other semi-final matchup from the first leg. Portmore United and Harbour View locked at 2 apiece. Where will the other finalists come from? We'll find out at the top of the hour.